Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Words, Images, and Worlds. Delighted to be having a conversation again. This is Conversation Squared with comics creator SK. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Jason. Look, really happy to be on. Thanks for giving me your time, really. You been
Absolutely,
good?
absolutely. I've been good. It's been icy here on the East Coast of the United States where I am, but I understand it's quite the opposite where you are. Is this true?
Totally different. It's summer here, and we're I think it's been some days of 40 degrees Celsius, which is, again, don't quote me on conversions because I'm bad with my math, but I believe it's in the low hundreds, so 104, I think it's the equivalent of about 40 degrees. And it's some days you just want to stay indoors. It's just you
Yeah.
can't walk out. You melt. You melt outdoors.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, we always talk comics, and you have some comics that you have created and are creating. I know we'll get around to that. The last time you were on, you were showing some secrets of lettering, some really interesting work there. And so I was wondering if, and it looks like you are screen sharing indeed, if there's another secret of comics that you would like to share with us for this episode.
I do actually. It's how to write really good dialogue, and this is actually
Nice.
where I'll need your help. Actually, we'll. So, Jason, would you like to be the guy or the girl?
You know what? I will be the girl. I'll be the girl. I'll take that, and you can take the
Fantastic.
lead. How about that?
I'll be the guy, and the whole point about good dialogue and what I think happens a lot, especially when people write. It's novel writing is very different to comic book writing because when you write novels, you can actually say how the person is feeling. It's actually allowed in
Hmm.
novels. You can kind of say, and Bob was morose because he lost his job. You're allowed to write that in a novel. You can't write that in dialogue. It has to be, and it makes dialogue than writing a lot more complex. So I just want to bear this in mind. We're going to read through it, and we're going to have a bit of fun. Bounce back and forth. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask you, Jason,
Hmm.
beyond what is being said, can you actually tell what's really happening? And the guy is a little bit Russian, so they're both
Hmm.
Russians. So in this world, they're from the north, so they got a bit of Russian accent. So just do your best. Look, my Russian
Little
accent
Russian.
is rubbish.
Okay.
So I'm going to zoom in a bit. So we'll start with panel one.
Okay.
So if you instead of yes, it's like yeah, you
Ja.
can do that
Ja.
for
All right.
the Russian
Yes.
yeah, that type of that's the yes for Russian.
All right.
And you can see the names will come up. So let's start with that. There's only four panels, so we can have a bit of fun with it.
Cool.
Dimitri is my best friend, but you guys are so different. You fly fast.
Yeah.
He's the slow and steady type.
Yeah.
What do you see in him?
He's kind and very sweet.
I fly fast, and I know you know I can be kind and sweet too.
Oh, I know. He. I get what you're hinting at. I have a friend I'd love to introduce you to.
That's not.
Oh, don't get all shy now. Be brave, confident. I'm going to play matchmaker for you. I'd do anything for you. You know, you're like family to me, like an annoying baby brother.
Hey, and I'll stop it there. So that's a bit of you can kind of tell it's a bit of fun banter dialogue. Um, can you tell what's happening without it's not being explicitly said, but can you tell what's happening?
Okay, so it's Valentine's week as we're recording. Is he interested in her? Is he trying to kind of make his case, so to speak, and she's bypassed the situation? Is that what is going
That's
on?
it, 100%. So, and I've only showed you one page out of context. So,
Hmm.
you there's a bit of contextual clues you guys miss out on afterwards, but uh, she hasn't picked up on any of the hints. So she's actually totally clueless here. if on the other pages, it could be she knows, but she's trying to divert. But in this case,
Mm,
in this particular story, she's totally clueless. So you can kind of tell with the dialogue, it's never explicitly said, "Yeah, I like you,"
mm-hmm.
but you're dating my best friend. It's never stated that way. It's always stated the way people are trying to get something across without actually saying what they're trying to say. And I think you
Mm-hmm.
find that in real life a lot, that when people actually want to say something that's important to them, they actually don't say it. They actually kind of, I hope they pick up the hint, like, Jason, my car broke down and you've got this brand new four-wheel drive and I need to move my cupboard. I I don't know. Hey, you've got this new car and
So you're thinking about buying a four-wheel drive? Is that what you were saying?
yeah, yeah, that's it. But you know what I mean? And that's actually the heart of very, very good dialogue, where
Yeah.
you're able to the and the other part about really good dialogue is, and that's why I illustrate this one page, and I actually gave you it without context, is you could read the interpretation multiple ways. Does she know that he likes her? And she's trying to divert, or does she totally ignorant and she's just trying to be really helpful and really friendly? It's really up to the reader's choice, and that's actually what makes
Mm-hmm.
good dialogue actually more important, because when you deal with people in real life, you don't actually get a full read on people all the time. Like, somebody might say something and you're just going, wait, did he mean it that way? Or does it really reflect
Mm-hmm.
this? And in that one page, if you can kind of figure out, you don't know. And because you don't know, what happens when you read more is you're trying to think, hey, I need to find out more. And it actually builds a bit of mystery into the character just from the dialogue. So, just very simple dialogue clues. You're wondering, is she, what's she trying to get at? And it actually is very fascinating what really good dialogue does as opposed to expositional dialogue. The other thing I will show you is, just for compare and contrast, I'll show you
Mm-hmm.
something that's a little bit more expositional. So that one, and the thing is, when you're writing and all the rest of it, there is different things you have to do in terms of different dialogue can serve multiple purposes. But if you can get in a case where it does rather just do one thing, or it's exposition. And the other thing would be is people really don't like exposition. If you say, and you can have a little bit of it, which is absolutely fine. But if you have it so that it's purely what happens, you know what? It doesn't really work that well. So, let me bring up the other page, which I was going to bring up. And I'll show you something that is very expositional. And we won't read through this one, but you can kind of see here the difference between expositional dialogue. But even with expositional dialogue, you can still have lots of inflection exposition dialogue. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is another panel. And again, we won't read it out loud, but I'm happy to do the reading. War is traveling fast around Hoseki. Honyu will be preparing, petition the emperor for the edict of war at the festival of the Great Dragon. It looks like we don't have a choice. We have to attack first. Very
Mm-hmm.
expositional. You
Very
don't get
direct.
a
Mm-hmm.
no. It kind of tells you what's happening, as opposed to the other dialogue, which they don't tell you anything. Like, he doesn't come out to say, "Hey, by the way, I like you. I know you're dating my best friend, but it's it's never outright stated, and you as the reader have
Yeah.
to contextualize the clues. There are certain panels like this one where, hey, they are obviously discussing some sort of thing, something that's happening. They have to be very clear and very direct. Imagine like you're talking to a supervisor at work. They don't want to hear your whole life story. They want to go, "Yep, clean the registers. The fruit has been sorted. I'm going home now." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's that type of thing. But even when you do very expositional dialogue, and this is where if you notice a lot of comics and stuff, the bold is very important because you can kind of see here, and this is actually where comics actually has thing. And I'll show you the guy's face, and
Mm,
it's
mm,
very
mhm.
important that the, and I'll run to the other thing is he looks very, oh my god, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It's the face of, and that's where comics actually show facial expressions, which is very, very different to reading a novel. That's not a face of somebody who wants to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a face of, oh god damn it, why am I here again? Or
Mm,
the
mhm.
it's, and then when you see the the dialogue as well. If you bold certain keywords, it changes to what you think the guy is saying. Now imagine those keywords are bolden and you make him look angry. Oh, total different context. He's looking like he's sad here, and you look, we don't have a choice. That bold on the
Mhm.
inflection of the don't shows that he's being forced into a position he doesn't want to do. And we have to attack first. It's that if you imagine as he's speaking, we have to attack first. It's like almost as he's dropping his voice off.
Mm,
And just
mhm.
by how the dialogue and the face is written, it's very, very different. If I made him if I get, for example, if I made him laughing or smirk, and I didn't bolt the don't, but I bolted the attack first. You're thinking this guy is like, oh my god, he wants this. He wants to wage war. He wants to get involved straight away.
Mhm.
Very, very different. Very, very context clues. So you can see how dialogue is so important. Even very simple dialogue serving different purposes. Like again, freely admit this is not character driven dialogue. This is pure exposition because the reader wants to know what's happening. Is there war happening? Is there, can they stop it? But
Mhm.
with the additional context clues, you can tell the guy on the right, he doesn't want to go to war. He's not interested in this. He's only doing it because he fears he has no other choice. As
Yeah.
opposed to, I want to do this. Oh, this is exciting. War is happening. Woohoo. And you can kind of see here. And if you add more context clues into to it, he's going, you can kind of see here when he's angry, is damn, 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 our
Mhm.
troops. Again, now if you take the whole, again, I'm purposely doing panel by panel, so I can give you panels in itself, and then when you put it all together, it provides that entire context. You kind of see here, he's worried about his troops. He's not worried about
Yeah.
war or fighting. He's like, and he's angry. He's angry here, and then you kind of see him. They're on high alert. You can see him calming down, and then you can see him just accepting his fate. We have to do this.
Mm,
Facial expressions. So the other two things that most comic creators as writers don't do properly, and this is something which I would advise. There's two things. The first thing they don't do properly is they will say the person does something as actions, but they
mm,
don't put the facial expressions in. And the thing is, when you write dialogue, I mean, when you write the script, you can easily go, and you don't have to be very complex in the script because you're just giving it to an artist. They make him look sad, make him look weary, make him look exasperated. You put all those things in so that the artist knows what facial expressions to put in. They can't always pick up what you're trying to do, contextual clues. Like I showed you that page with the dialogue. If he had all different facial expressions, and if the lettering had been done totally in a different way, it makes a total different scene. I could make this guy look same words, same everything, make him look like he wants to fight. In this case, he doesn't want to fight, but it wouldn't be too hard to switch a couple, make him a smirk coming through, make him like want to be, yeah, can't wait for this. It's not that hard to do. The other
yeah.
thing which I would always say is for writers, help if especially if your book's being colored, help the colorist out. Tell them what time of day it is. Tell them even the context of what is happening. Mainly because your brain has a lot of contextualized clues based on color.
Mm,
If
mhm.
this guy was gung ho waiting to fight, you could put a little more reddish into the background so it shows things are getting heated up. Blue is usually a little bit more calming. And it's not a case of suddenly the background becomes blue. It's a good colorist would contextualize and goes, you know what? I'm going to help you out here a little bit. It's a really heated scene. I'm going to add my red, my orange, make it a bit spicy, make it happen.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, this is a very, a scene where it's a lot of hard troops are beating. I need the pastels. Or it's a calming scene. I need the light blues. You write that into the script and they'll know what's happening. So when the colorist comes to do it, they can match it a little bit more into the mood. And it's a lot of it is pretty universal. Red is almost the universal sign of anger, but red is also a universal sign of passion or fury. So the guy may not be angry, but he might be passionate about it. Like they might really, this is a cause he really wants to stand for. So yeah, I hope that gives
Pretty
you a
cool.
little bit of additional clues. But like I said before, really good dialogue. Again, like I said, there's exposition dialogue, but on the whole, you should push away exposition dialogue as much as can because it feels like you're just pushing the story. It's actually really good to have a lot of character dialogue in things. The other thing I always do with dialogue, which I always have fun with, is throw in a word
Hmm.
that people won't understand, but are able to understand in context. Give you an example, like you saw the jars and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Now, jar is Russian for yes, by the way. But if I didn't tell you that, you could figure it out
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
saying, and that's what you want to keep doing is, and what you find is a lot of people have individual quirks. A lot of people don't say full sentences. And the thing is, a lot of people, when they're talking, guilty as charged, and I just did it just then, we don't finish our sentences because most people's brains work faster than our mouths do. So you can kind of see here, I'll be jumping to the next topic, but I'm just. So when you're writing and people are talking normally, they kind of never finish sentences. And it's not a bad thing, it's just contextualized. The only time when people finish sentences and actually complete full dialogues is when they're talking about something that's very important to them or something which they go, I need to be heard about this. So back to
Hmm.
that previous scene, you see him finish all of his sentence off properly because he's trying to express something that's inside his heart to the lady. She's just jumping all over the place. Oh, I can do this. Oh, wait, I know somebody. Oh, I can do this. You see her jumping her sentences that it's a bit more incoherent while he is being very precise. You said this. I'm going to reply directly to what you said. She said that. I'm going to reply directly to what said. Again, very contextual that what he's saying is very important to him. What she's saying is stream of consciousness. She's just throwing stuff out.
Yeah.
That's the essence of good dialogue. Absolute essence of good dialogue. If you can do it properly, and I'm not saying that that's Shakespeare, by the way. I would never pretend, but it has all the contextualized clues that, you know what? I don't have to say he likes him. And the entire story, he never says he likes him. He doesn't have to. You, the reader,
Hmm.
knows. Or if you don't pick it up, that's actually okay as well because you might get it down the track to go. It's like sometimes where people talk to you and you don't understand what you're trying to say until a bit later. So what we're hoping is if you don't pick this up now, maybe on the second reread, or if it comes half further in the story, you're going, wait a minute, he never liked her. Wait a minute, what's the meaning here? That's what you want to do. That makes the pure essence of good, engaging dialogue. That if you don't pick it up now, doesn't matter. Hopefully, you pick it up the next time around. So I hope that's a little bit of secret that
Yeah,
makes it a bit more exciting.
yeah, there's such a psychology, there's like an observation that you have to do as a writer to capture all that, to make sure that it is as you want it. And I'm thinking about the fantasy worlds that you create. When you have animal characters, when you have kind of these fantasy settings, and you're still building in that psychology, you're still building in the things that are natural to people.
Oh, definitely. And the thing is, it's in the end, your every story is a human story.
Hmm.
As much as it's a fantasy world, like to be really fair, if again going to AD&D, D&D, I don't know what an owlbear thinks. I have no idea what a beholder how he reacts,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it's just really fascinating. Um, Saying that, I hope I can do a slight pivot. I will show you more dialogue, but I'll show it to you. I have a Kickstarter currently running, and thanks you, Jason, for giving me the time for this.
Hmm.
Can
Hmm.
I share my screen again? I'll share it again with the Kickstarter. So,
Of course, please
and
do.
you can kind of see it. It's a fantasy setting, and what I will do here is I'll show the video. I'm a little bit proud of the video, so I'll show that a bit later. But I will show you again the dialogue for the scene. It's a little bit expositional, but like he's kind of saying, what's happening here. You can kind of see here, he's saying, I'm faster, too slow. So he's like taunting. So that's enough.
Hmm.
But you notice one thing I love is when people are fighting and stuff like that, like I said, it's that not finishing your sentences. I don't, you know what? As I was saying, like he's constantly interrupting because he's being an arrogant idiot. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't let her finish her sentences off. And that's what happens. So when you do uh, writing, especially for dialogue, what you tend to find is if you write dialogue which is really stilted, like when two people are arguing and you let each of them get all their points out, that's bad writing because real arguments don't happen that way. You're talking over each other. You're purposely misunderstanding each other. Why? Because you don't want them to win. You don't want to get your point out. You don't want to get it worded edgewise. So that's the sense of where dialogue is a lot of fun. I also love callbacks, and I'll explain what that means. So when you're writing, have and it's not so. This is actually not that much a real life thing because in real life you actually don't call back to your previous conversations much. It does look to be fair. There are some people who would go back and think, "Oh gosh, I wish I said that." Some people do, most people don't. But you can kind of see here in an earlier scene, he goes, "I know you're trying for maybe flower rate would be more your speed," and this is where
Hmm.
certain words are very, very important. So more your speed. Now, it's a turn of phrase. You know what? I think you know what? Maybe you should get into card collecting. That seems your speed. It's a normal
Hmm.
turn of phrase. It's not anything else. It's but what you then find here is when they finally get into the fight, is he would all keep going, but too slow. So it's always nice to drop this little breadcrumbs to tie things together. That he's basically insulting her, saying she's too slow earlier without having to use the word "you're too slow." And now when they're actually fighting, it's fine that he can start throwing the insults in because he's already said it.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the essence of, and your brain will start picking up already. Oh gosh, it's more my speed. She's slow. Oh, bam! It's one of those things. And
Hmm.
like I said, a lot of these things, if you're reading the first time through, you might not pick up on it. And that's absolutely fine. What you hope for is, if they do pick up on it, brilliant. If they don't, you hope on the second reread or whatever, you pick up all these dialogue clues from each person and you can see how it all links up. So this guy is a
Nice.
jerk. He's called a slow, and even if in this particular dialogue, it's already hinting she's too slow. Maybe flower arrangement is more your speed. It's already hinting she's too slow, and then it gets directly called out further down, and that's what you want. That's what you want with good dialogue, you know. And that's something that doesn't happen that much in real life. It's like the whole joke. The difference between fact and fiction is fiction has to make sense.
Right. True.
Real life
True.
doesn't. Real life doesn't. So when you're writing, that's where you need to keep dropping like all these things that it all links up really nicely. And by the way, none of this is expositional. Like, to be fair, flower arrangement actually doesn't have much to do with the story. Sorry, it's a bit of a spoiler. There's no flower arrangement in the story. I should add
You
a flower arrangement
know,
scene, but
I'm okay with that though. There are sword fights that seems
oh,
visually
it's more fun.
stunning.
Um, hey, tell me if the sound doesn't come out on this, but I'm gonna play the video. It's not about a minute, but if the sound doesn't come out, give me. I'll try to reshare with the. Actually, I might try to let me stop the share. I'm gonna share again,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna make sure that I click share audio. Um,
Oh, you might have to turn it up just a bit.
it's too
Make
soft,
sure
or
my Let me make sure my audio's on and good too.
try
Shall we
again,
try again?
or yep. If it's a bit soft, it's okay. It's
Nice. It works
hope
well
it
as an
came through.
animated film too.
Oh, look, um, I'll show you one of my things was, and I'll show you the Wolf Cubs one. One of the things, and this is something which I'm interested in, but I don't know whether there is a market out there for that. But there is a how do you say? Um, when I used to read comics when it first came out, like Walking Dead and whatever, I
Mhm.
remember there used to be, um, and again, I don't think they do it anymore, but there used to be animated comics where they actually
Yes.
animated the comic and you actually go from panel to panel. Um, I loved it, absolutely loved it. I know it didn't get that much traction. I'm going to show you something else. This is the first Wolf Cubs. Um, I won't show the sound or whatever, but I'm assuming you can still hear me. I didn't turn the sound on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. But what I tried to do with this one is I tried to make an animated comic uh, where the dialogue actually moves in. You get a bit of animation,
Oh, nice.
and it allows you to. So it's panels from the comic, with the green mist or whatever.
Nice.
So that's
Cool,
something
cool.
I tried to do. I did it for the first Wolf Cubs. You can kind of see, so each page becomes about 30-40 seconds where the dialogue comes up in sequence, and certain panels you have to zoom in, zoom out, and a little bit of animation. Animation has to be really subtle because you don't want it to take away from the actual reading. Um, I don't know actually. It didn't. I'll be honest to you. it didn't gather the reaction I would have hoped. I really, I love it. As a personal thing, I absolutely love it. But a lot of people were like, I don't want to read, want to watch. I don't want to
Wow.
read and watch. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
um, so what I don't know if you know. When I grew up, I grew up in the world of subtitles. So when I watch all those Jackie Chan Chinese kung fu movies, Jet
Hmm.
Li's, like all of them were always subtitled because they always try to. And a lot of the dramas I used to watch, like because I used to consume a lot of Asian culture. So we got Korean, and I don't speak every single language, so everything was always subtitled. In If you go into a lot of Asian content, all of it's subtitled because Thai people would like this, watch Korean K-pops,
Hmm.
Korean interested in J-pop, and even this Chinese C-pop, whatever. They share a lot of culture, but because they all speak different languages, basically it was almost universal. Everything was subtitled. So I grew up in that type of world. So having an animated comic was fine with me. I just when I was trying to pitch and talk to people about it, there was just didn't seem to be very much interest in this, which is a shame because I love it. It's just a lot of work, and if there's no audience for it, it breaks my heart a little bit. I have to really
That
admit.
makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
it's where you want to spend your time. Like if I spend like each of these pages, you know what I mean? It's a 40-page book. You spend a day a page. It's like 40 days of work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and there's no audience out there. It's heartbreaking, man. But we can kind of see here. I really, it's something that does interest me a lot. Um, so just I'll share my screen again. I know I'm jumping a bit, but the
You're
one
fine. You're fine.
I really love Wolf Cubs. It's based around these three characters. She's a dark elf warrior. He's a thief, and he's a mage. So we got the little bit of the basic archetypes through. But I have a
Mm.
lot of fun with it. And the one thing I absolutely love is writing characters. It's almost for me adventures, a little bit secondary to the actual
Mm.
characters. And so each of them are very, very different personality wise. Each of them react very, very differently to different situations. And I'll show you what I mean with this one. So, you know, here he's going, I'm being hit by rainbow glitter, slime. Why do we always seem to get the
Mhm.
worst quest? And she's excited. She's going, yay! My sense of adventure is here. And he's like, "Ugh, why do I have to do this? It's a bit of fun. So it's not homogenous. And I also make it fun that a lot of the drive comes from the characters. Sure, there's a world of giant snails, there's huge monsters and all the rest of it, but it is very, very much character focused. So you kind of see here they
Mhm.
try to stop the snail. It doesn't do anything because the snail is very anti magic. The slime is very anti magic, so it doesn't affect them too much. So the mage is going, I don't think this is working. And then you get a flashback into Gwen, the Dark Elf warrior, back into when she was trained to become a warrior. When she's trained to become a fighter, what she was like, and the conflicts that happened when she was learning how to become a fighter. So a
Mm.
lot of it is all character driven. It's a fun fantasy story. There's a lot of things happening. Um, I also make sure that each character has a little bit of the little arc to go through. So every character does they I do focus on one character per volume, but if you have a favorite, I don't let your favorite not get some screen time. They get a little bit of time for it. Uh, this Kickstarter is for volume 2, but one thing I always make it sure is that if you back on almost every tier, you will get a digital copy of volume 1. So
Nice.
there's a so as well as so you can kind of see here, I can make it very clear you get a digital copy of volume 1, and if you actually want to buy the hard copy you can as well, but I'm making sure that you can jump in and you'll get to catch up the story. uh
Nice. Nice.
volume You don't need volume 1 to enjoy volume 2. but it gives you a little bit more to the characters of why they act the way they do. But I would always advise read the whole thing. It makes I like I said before, I do drop a lot of contextualized hints. So if you read volume one, you go, I know why she said that, or I know why they reacted that way, or why she did something that way. It makes a lot more sense. But if you don't, it still makes sense. But you get that, it's like that little inside joke you get when if you read volume one. Um,
Hmm.
the deluxe version of volume two, I put 20 pages in here. But the last campaign I ran, when I ran the deluxe version, everybody got more than 35 pages. So this
Oh,
is
nice.
additional inked artwork. This is all the covers. And the good thing about digital is I can break all the rules. Because when you're
Hmm.
printing, you've got set spaces. Uh, you have to end with I don't know if you know when you're printing, you have to have a multiple of four and all the rest of it because how the paper folds. So you got a lot of physical restrictions when you actually do physical printing. Digital, what the hell? Just chuck it in, and it doesn't have to be the same. In that, for example, there's certain things I provide to me as a square. Like when I do square business cards, I have the image as a square. Just
Hmm.
chuck it in. The PDF will resize when you come to that page. So it lets me do
Yes.
all these things I can't do with a printed copy, and I throw it a lot. You get also stuff that happens for future volumes, future projects. You get everything. So, and I'm being a bit of a salesperson here, but the difference between a digital and the normal is 3 Australian, which is about $1 US. So it
Oh,
makes
wow. Wow. Yeah.
so you get all that stuff. To be fair, it takes me more time to set up the digital file than what it's worth. But I love it so much. The other thing, which if anybody's interested, and they're more than welcome to, is I usually release because I'm selling volume two. I usually release volume one first. That if people read volume one and they want to have letters to the editor,
Hmm.
I'm more than happy to write that and include that in the digital deluxe. And we've done that on previous projects, and it's been really good. Um, I do a cyberpunk mystery graphic novel, and that's very much a mystery box push. But
Hmm.
I'm really, really happy that there's one mystery that people have been just going, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this, and they've been throwing it at me, and I've just been really happy that they haven't got it yet. Some people got really
Hmm.
close to it, but they haven't quite got it yet. And I'm just holding up my sleeve because in the next volume of that series, I'm actually opening that mystery box, but they haven't got it yet. And I'm so, so happy. Uh, they've come close. They've come very
Nice.
close to figuring it out, but it's tangentially wrong, if you know what I mean. I,
Uh-huh.
I,
Uh-huh.
I won't go too much into it, but um, my whole point is if you read something here, if if you do read volume one, come back to me. Tell me who your favorite character is. Tell me what's gonna you think is gonna happen. And I think that's absolutely missing right now. That you don't. Uh, I want to see an excited, engaged fan base. I want people to write back like.
Yeah.
Um, my funniest story once is I was doing this one series and I submitted through to the editor and I killed the character. Like you do, sometimes they die. The
Hmm.
editor wrote back to me, if you kill the character, we're going to can the series. I said, what? Yeah, no, she can't die.
Ah,
Oh,
good to
what do you
know.
mean she can't die? She's my favorite. Don't you dare kill her. Can you please rewrite it? I think this way should make more sense if you did this. To be fair, it did. But to actually be told she's my favorite character, don't you dare kill her. I heard her that she breaks a couple of things, bones and all the rest of it. But I was explicitly told she's not going to die. Always stopping it here. Look, to be fair, I know it was a little bit in jest, and you know what I mean. But
Oh,
people,
yes. Yeah.
I really love it when they get so engaged that they'll go to you. No, you can't do that. So please tell me if you read something and you really enjoy anything I do, and you actually want to say, "Hey, don't you dare kill this character off." I want to hear about it. I might still kill said character, but at least I feel guilt about it, and that's the main thing. You make me feel guilty
That's right.
about it. Um, the other thing would be is when you get any of the digital tiers, I throw in all additional reading material. You get these additional 3 comics, and there'll be a lot more coming as well as the project progresses. I think the last campaign we had more than 300 additional pages of comics just
Wow.
for you to read, just on that digital tier. So you don't only get the comic you want to get.
Hmm.
Here's a whole stack of reading you can enjoy. Um, in terms of physicals, there's 3 covers to choose from. I'll be my cheeky salesperson because if you can't decide, you can always get them all.
Right,
so
right. Lovely
so
covers.
but I love the covers, and we also always include a little card, and the card is only ever get printed as part of this. So it's I love it. I love these little cards. There's also an A5 size card. A5 is a postcard size. A5 is more uh, a Australian standard, the A5 paper, A4 paper, so A5
Hmm.
size, but postcard size. You get this. There's also this postcard that's also available. But the good thing about this particular postcard is if we hit the stretch goals, everybody gets it. You can buy it
Nice.
if you like, but if everybody hits it, everybody gets it. And if you bought it, you get 2 copies. So bonus, you don't lose out for getting it, but you can always get more. Uh, if you're fans of original artwork, the artist will draw on A5, again, postcard size, this really cool detailed sketch. So it's not a throwaway sketch. There is some time and effort, you can see, put to all of this.
Hmm.
It will look absolutely perfect framed. It'll be a character from within the story. It'll be randomly selected, but you'll get some original artwork. I always say is if you do buy original artwork and there's a particular character you love and you want to get that one, just let me know. I'll do my absolute best to accommodate you. But the usual thing is the artist will usually just pick the couple that he likes and he'll do it. But if there's a
Hmm.
particular one you want, just ask me. The answer's 99% going to be yes. If there's a particular character you like. Um, this one's still available, and this is the one I really hope at least one person gets. Is the custom cover. Is you send me your photo afterwards, and there will be a very very small print run where you will appear on the cover.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, if you really enjoy this one, it's what's better than appearing on the cover. So
Hmm. Hmm.
and the stretch. So currently, the campaign is about the halfway mark. So we're looking at about 4,000 Australian and 130 backers, and the campaign was 28 days. So we're about the half, just beyond the one halfway mark. And the stretch goals come in of, like I mentioned, there will be more stuff being added when we hit 8K Australian or 250 backers. So we're about halfway there. So my whole point would be is spread the word. If we hit either, and my stretch goals actually work really well in terms of you don't have to hit both, you just have to hit one of them. So if
Hmm.
you get a
Hmm.
lot of people, if you get 100 people to put $1 in, bam, all the good stuff will come, and more. So currently, the only stretch goal is declared is this postcard for all physical backers, but there will be more stuff. I will also include additional digital rewards when we get a bit closer. But trust me when I say when you get the stretch goals, there will be a lot provided. It will not be a case of, oh, here's something I didn't want anyway, throw away. It's all specifically made for the campaign, and it'll be something I really hope you guys do enjoy.
Cool,
So that's the
cool, cool.
campaign, really. It's fun.
Nice.
It's a fantasy adventure, and if you're watching this video, I really hope you check it out. Link will be attached with the video, and so yeah,
Absolutely.
please. Or you can go to Kickstarter and look for the word "Wolf Cubs," 2 words. So "Wolf Cubs" as 2 words, number 2. That should find the campaign as well.
Nice, nice.
And
You are a
this is
prolific creator. I noticed 25 projects on there that you've created, and you've worked in addition to that. So, what
but
is
that's
your
over about
project? Kill?
10, 15 years though. So
Oh, yes, yeah.
it works up to me to be about 2 a year. I do work a lot of work for hire, for example. I do writing work for hires. I do Uh, I'm a professional letterer, so I work for a lot of publishers on lettering. And oh man, don't get me started on lettering. We'll be here for another 4 or 5 hours. Um, but these are in terms of my own personal stuff. So these are the stories I want to tell. And what tends to happen, and why I love Kickstarter so much is, I pitch stories and I've got to different publishers and stuff like that. And what the first thing that usually happens, as I mentioned before, they want to change certain things. Kickstarter
Mm,
allows me to tell the story as is, like it is what it is.
yeah.
Now, if you want me to change something, maybe if it gets big and I pitch, but sometimes you just want to tell the story the way you want to tell it. And
Mm,
so that's why I hope you can check out these campaigns, because these are the stories the way I want it told. So as opposed to if you pick up another one of my stories, which may have gone through a pitch or a publisher, it would have gone through and it's not quite the way I want it. Sometimes for the
makes
better,
sense.
don't get me wrong, but it's not 100% my vision. While these ones are gone, good, ugly, bad, you'll see it all in these, because these are 100% my stories, a little bit unfiltered.
Nice. Yeah, I love the creative freedom, and I will certainly mention or include the Kickstarter link. Any other links or spaces that you want to mention, or anything that we've missed before we close out?
Oh, that's it. So, like again, if you go Kickstarter.com, just Wolf Cubs, 2 words, number two should find it, or the link as Jason will share it out. Thank you so much for your
Perfect.
time. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome anytime here. It's always great to talk with you, and always interested to see what you're creating and to hear your insights into the comics medium. So, many thanks to you, and may the conversation continue.